Good morning, my Kickstart Plan family. Wherever you are in your life right now, wherever you are in this challenge right now, just know that it is all about imperfect action. It is not about being at a certain place. We are all at different places. Some of you may be watching this where you're looking for like a shift in your health, in your body. Maybe you want to lose 10 pounds. Some of you are in very unhappy relationships and you're looking for a shift in your marriage. Maybe it's in your finances. Everybody is at different places in where they're at with watching the videos, with where they're at with the challenges that they're doing. So don't judge yourself for wherever you're at, because that is not going to help. And we're going to talk about that this week. So wherever this video finds you in your life, just know that it is perfect. You are perfect exactly where you are. You can just continue to take steps, continue to take imperfect action, moving in the direction you may want to go. So, maybe it's hard for you to tap into the bigger dream of where you want to be in a year. What I want you to do, I want you to shift your mind into what would even be better than today. Whatever it is that you're going through, is the 1 degree that would be better than today. Maybe it really is that you just have a little bit more time for yourself. Maybe it is that you just want to feel a little bit better. So no matter what it is, there is a way to make progress. So I just wanted to say that quickly. I'm going to tell you so yesterday we ended on the desire, the purpose of desire, how to use desire, and the why. I didn't really go into the why so much. So today's worksheet is going to be the same as yesterday's to some degree, but I'm going to break it down so that you can print it and you can write on that worksheet if you want. So to start off, anything in life, we have to decide. And that is why with this challenge, what I wanted you to do in the very first place was just to decide that, like, I had this moment in my life, it's even on my website, where it was like, enough is enough. I cannot do this life like this anymore. Enough is enough. And I became so committed that it was like, there was no way in hell I was not going to live a life that I truly wanted to. I was going to wake up and be able to find joy and find peace and create what it was that I wanted to create. So you have to decide today. If you haven't already done this, decide and commit that this enough is enough, or whatever it is you're committed to. And then you find resolve within you, which is essentially like it is so already done that you're so committed that you know that no matter what, no matter how long it takes to figure this shit out, it's like done. It is done. No matter how many highs, no matter how many lows you have to go through, that you are gonna freaking get there. And when you are so committed, you have that resolve inside of you, you begin taking action every day. You begin making progress. You begin showing up imperfectly. You take that imperfect action because you know that there's no way that you will not get to where you want to go. And when you start, you begin to build momentum. And that's what I touched on in yesterday's video. You build momentum in your life and in the direction that you go. And momentum is a power, is a strength in your life that once you get that ball rolling, man, it is hard to stop. So that is the process that I want to take you through, is you decide, you commit, you resolve, you take action, and you build that momentum. Now, like I've been saying, progress equals happiness is a law of nature. If we are not progressing, then we are dying. And that does not equal happiness. If, let's just say I worked with you for a month. I'm just going to drive this point home. I worked with you for a month every single day. You know, you wanted a change in your marriage. Maybe you wanted a change in your finances or in your emotional state or in your ability to stick through and do things. Whatever it was that we were working on, and you started to see changes happening. You started to feel this momentum. You started to notice, like, man, I'm 5% better today than I was yesterday. And then all of a sudden, 10%, 20%, 30%. What does that do to you? You get so excited. You begin to shift. You begin to show up differently, right? In your marriage, in your body, in your health, your mental state. You get into this momentum and this belief that you could do more. What is the next level? What is the next thing? You build this confidence in yourself, but it takes courage. When you're feeling fearful, it takes courage to step into that, to build the confidence. When you feel incompetent, you don't feel confident. No, but you have to be willing to feel incompetent to go to the next level of competence. So your blueprint has started to change. Your thoughts, your perspective, it starts to change. Your story has started to change, and that shifts your state of being. Your state of being is how you feel. What is going on? Your state of being is when you start to get clear and focused and build momentum, your state of being begins to shift because your thinking, your perspective, your blueprint is shifting about what is possible. So your breakthrough is in progress. Being willing, deciding, committing, resolving, taking action, building momentum, showing up in imperfection. We all have a blueprint that's built into us. We all have a blueprint that measures whether or not we are enough. What is an area in your life? Look at your life situation. One area in your life that you feel good about. So if you're going to be honest and fair with yourself, there's at least one thing. Maybe you're an amazing mom, have a really great relationship, or you're really proud of the dogs you've raised. Me, yes. Most of the time anyway. You know, maybe it's your health. Maybe you decided, you made some changes in your life and you are feeling good. Be honest with yourself. What is an area of your life that you are proud of yourself, that you feel good about? I want you to write that down. Have a blueprint within us that measures whether or not we are good enough, whether we think we are enough. And like I said, for each person, it's different. Society says that for every category in our lives, there is a value attached there. Being a mother, being a teacher, being a lawyer, being whatever it is, there is this identity of value that is attached to that. I really want you to take a second and write down what is one small area. I don't care how big or how great, how much success, how low. I want you to write down what is one small area that you can say that you feel that you are successful at. Whatever area that you're happy with in your life conditions, whatever it is, it aligns with the blueprint that is within you. When I think that my ideal weight is a certain number, and health to me looks like meditating regularly and being in nature, moving my body and eating foods that fuel me, not overeating, not snacking when I'm not actually hungry, when that is my blueprint, my expectation of what it looks like to find success in that area, I'm going to feel happy when my life condition aligns with that blueprint, right? So you think about people, their blueprint is big, is beautiful. They want to be really big, really voluptuous. And they feel super confident and happy and satisfied in that area because that is their blueprint. What is an area that you are unhappy with, that's causing you pain and stress? What area is it that you want to improve? Just one word. What could it be? What's coming up for you? Why are you not happy with that area? So when you're looking at the area that you are happy with, why are you happy with that area of your life? Why? That's going to reveal to you your blueprint, what you think about where you're at in life. And the space that causes the pain and the frustration and the discomfort is the space between our blueprint and our life condition. So if our blueprint says we should be here and our life condition is here, well, guess what? In this space here is pain. It's discomfort. It's also what causes us to desire to grow. But when we're not making progress, when we're not growing, it causes us to struggle. It causes us pain. Figure out the closing of the gap. The closing of the gap between our blueprint and our life condition. So let's talk about how we do that. When your life condition doesn't match your blueprint, your story, then you're going to feel disappointment and frustration and pain. And the bigger the gap, the more pain we experience. So when we are thinking, my life doesn't match how I am supposed to be, what I am supposed to do, where I'm supposed to be at in this point in my life, right? We all have, and this might be you, but we all have friends that are still single, that are like, I should have had a husband by now. I should have had children by now. I should have had all of these things. The bigger that gap is, the more pain we experience. And a lot of people are experiencing this pain right now because what they thought was not what they're experiencing. And it's causing a lot of pain and a lot of struggle. If you think about, if you grew up in a family where you did your Saturday chores. You had to clean the house. You had to take out the garbage. You had to, do these things. Then when you become an adult and you get into your own home and you have to do these things, then your blueprint is that is your normal. That is your expectation. That is your point of reference. That's your story. That's your blueprint, right? So there's no pain there. Now let's just switch it around. And let's say you grew up in a home where you had a house cleaner, where you never had to make your bed because the house cleaner always made your bed. Maybe you had a nanny and that nanny always made your lunches and always took care of the kids and always, did all of these things. Then you become an adult and you move into your own house and you marry your husband. And now all of a sudden, there's this gap of your blueprint to your life condition, to your life experience. And all of a sudden you're like, man, like this is not what I thought life would look like. When we have this disconnect from our blueprint to our life condition, we feel pain, we feel discomfort. And as we begin to understand this in our lives, we put ourselves into a place of choice and a place of decision, which is a place of power, because our lives are guided, they are created by the decisions that we make. When we have an identity, when life gets in the way of the story that we have, then we have pain. When we believe that our lives don't match our blueprint, that's when we suffer. And this week is all about looking at that blueprint. And it's not comfortable to look at the blueprint sometimes. A lot of the times we live our whole lives not wanting to look at the blueprint because we think that it's a blueprint, but it's the disconnect from our life and the blueprint that is actually causing us the pain. And when we can dive into growth, feel alive in life is growing and giving. Because there's always somebody else who's got it worse than we do. And when we can see that, shift our perspective and focus on something different, we can give back. And everything can be going great, and then life comes along and takes that from us. Life comes along, something happens, and that's taken from us. And the only way we can make a shift is either we change the blueprint or we change the life conditions. We can do two things. We have two choices. Either we blame or we change. And we often will find someone, something, ourselves to blame. When we're in the space of blame, we actually disempower ourselves. When we move into the space of change, we look at, okay, either what is it? What can I control right now? What can I put my focus on? What do I have control over? We have control over making this decision. We can change the condition of our lives, or we change the blueprint, depending on where you're at. And like I said, life is going to require a little bit of both. And this is why we set a goal, we reach a goal, and we're still not happy. Why is that? It's because we have to begin to close the gap between our life condition and our blueprint. When you think what your life should be, when we can align what we think our life should be with our blueprint or with our life condition, we start to be able to build that momentum. But your blueprint is the projection of what you think your life should be. This is what our blueprint is. And so the why, understanding the why behind our blueprint is so vital. So if you have not seen yesterday's video done, it's okay wherever you're at, just go back to where you were and continue to work through this. This will all come together. It all makes sense for you. I just hope that your day is beautiful and wonderful and that you just keep taking imperfect action wherever you are. Because truly, what is perfection? It's just a blueprint, which is crazy, right? It is just a blueprint. Because the way I see you is you're perfect exactly where you are. And it is the space between the blueprint and our life condition that helps us to evolve into the next version of ourselves. And often when we get there, we realize it wasn't actually imperfect at all. It was the perfect journey. It was perfectly where you were supposed to be. Just keep taking imperfect action. I'm here to love you and support you. I love you all. And I hope your day is beautiful and wonderful.